What's up, Dolphins fans? Welcome back to the Fins Up Network. And I need to apologize off the bat. I'm a little late to getting around to this video. The day that the linebackers were on the field at the scouting combine, I had a few things going on. So I'm just getting caught up on all the replays they're showing on NFL Network. So I'm all caught up. I got five linebackers that I want to talk about today as potential targets for the Dolphins. I would say that four of them are guys that you're going to have to spend early draft capital on. We're talking first or second rounder. I got one wild card guy who maybe you can see in both the fourth or the fifth round. So with that, let's jump into a guy basically with Nakobe Dean that's seen as 1A, 1B linebacker in this draft. Devin Lloyd out of Utah. I originally had him right around like 10 in my first mock draft, and you're going to see that pretty much as the common landing spot for him, right around that 10 range. And a lot of people thought, with a solid combine, if he just completely shows off all this amazing athleticism, he's a surefire top 10 pick. However, not that his combine numbers were bad, he just didn't go off the charts like what could have put a linebacker who we don't typically see as your traditional top 10 picks into that top 10. So we didn't see that. And a lot of people are going to look at the 4.66 40 and really kind of hold that against him. And like I said, I don't think it drops him too much. But I think there's enough tape out there that he's the all-around linebacker. He can hang with running backs. He can hang with tight ends in coverage. So the 40-yard dash was a little bit unexpected. I think if he bumps that up, he is a surefire top 10 pick. However, now I think we see him in that 10 to 15 range. Nakobe Dean did not participate at the combine with any on-field drills. He did weigh in 5'11", 229. We know he's not the biggest guy in the world, but another guy, kind of like Lloyd, where honestly, I think 29 is the absolute floor for Nakobe Dean. It's more so likely that if Miami wants a Dean or a Lloyd, you're going to have to trade up. So that can be your homework assignment today. If you think the Dolphins need to covet a first-round linebacker, they need to get Lloyd or Dean, they need to trade up to get them, which one would you prefer? I'm Team Dean. I've covered it in a couple of videos already. Curious to see what you guys think. Chad Muma out of Wyoming. 6'3", 239. So he measured in exactly pretty much what he was listed at Wyoming, which already shows legit NFL strength and size. And speaking of that strength, bench press reps of 27. That kind of helps put to sleep a little bit of the hesitation I had on him, because if you remember what I had said pre-combine was, if there's a red flag with Muma, it's the lack of competition. It's playing at Wyoming against smaller people, not as quality of people. But man, he came in with an NFL body and he showed NFL strength with 27 bench press reps. Gets it done in coverage, gets it done as a run stuffer. He also ran a 4.66, so he didn't fly off the charts on the 40. I don't think we really expected that out of Muma, so I'm not going to hold too much against him. Here's a guy, Christian Harris. A lot of people thought he really needed to have a solid combine to solidify himself as a potential first, early-ish second-round pick. And he had a great combine. It wasn't going to blow you away by any means, but what you're going to see is that 40-yard dash of 4.44. A lot of fours. But that's a great number for him, but we knew he could fly sideline to sideline and make the tackles. Where he struggles, and what we already kind of knew about him, was in pass coverage. He's not going to excel at that, and if that's what the Dolphins are going to require from a linebacker that they acquire this offseason, Christian Harris is probably not going to be high on their coveted list. He's not high on mine. You never know, though, so I wanted to include him in here. And the last guy, this is kind of that wild card player that I wanted to talk about. Chenal out of Wisconsin had a great combine. Just did everything that he needed to do to solidify himself as that mid-round, fourth, fifth round linebacker. So if Miami chooses to address different positions in those first few rounds, keep your eye on Chenal. 6'3", 250. In Wisconsin, he played in a blitz-heavy package. That was his role. And look at what the Dolphins do. He's a perfect fit for that. He's a huge hitter. He welcomes people at the line of scrimmage for running backs that are running between the tackles. He struggles a bit outside of the tackles, but I'm pretty confident he was the Badgers' tackle for loss leaders the last 2 years in Wisconsin. So if Miami chooses to go a different route at the position, or a different route in the NFL draft with the first few picks, keep your eye on Chenal. He's got a nice skill set that could lend himself well in Miami's blitz heavy scheme. But with that, that's my time for the linebackers. Like I said, I apologize for my lateness. However, I'll be back. I got an upcoming mock draft coming. I want to talk about Gesicki and Ogba. We got a lot of things coming, NFL draft, NFL free agency coming up. So make sure you're subscribing, checking back daily. And until then, we'll see you later, Dolphins fans.